we're live.
All right, we're struggling here, but we finally managed to go live. God.
Always an
Dan
adventure.
Dembski, Carlos Martinez, the Kirby on Sports podcast. We got a live audience here, so thank you so much for bearing with us. We are live on YouTube and Facebook as well. X is not connecting. So, gentlemen, Thursday Night Football. That's the occasion. And if you're not here at the Cider House, come on out because this place is hopping. It's going to be a lot of fun, some great cider. And we have a very special guest that's joining us right now. And we apologize for all the delays with this, but here, bring in a little bit more. Here we go.
Good evening.
And the owner of the Cider House, Steven, we're going to bring him on right away.
Hello there.
Foremost, thank you so much for having us out, Steven.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. So
I do know a bit about sport, if you're wondering.
yeah, I mean, I was in here earlier today, and you have cricket rolling on this.
Best sport in the world. We just turned it off actually, because England aren't doing so well. But we had to put this other sport on, kickball. Kickball. That's it. So tonight we've got the Philadelphia Game Birds playing the Washington.
The
Senators?
commies. The
Not
commies.
senators. I like
The
he said
Senators,
not
yeah.
Senators.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
I
we
love that.
got an NFC East matchup tonight between
right.
the Philadelphia Eagles playing at Lincoln Financial Field against the Washington Commandos.
There we go.
So I do know of it.
There we go. Yeah. So sort of giving a preview of that tonight here at the Cider House. We are a little bit late, unfortunately. Circumstances out of our control, and technology does suck at times. But Carlos holding it out for us. We appreciate your support, Carlos. And Dan Dembski,
What's
What
up?
I do, I'm technical support. That's why you call me the Swiss Army knife.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Swiss Army
I know a
knife.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Steven, first and foremost, I know we're late. We're going to run this a little bit longer to make sure the Cider House gets all the promotion that they get out of this. So, first and foremost, the Cider House. This place looks incredible. Your cider's
Yeah,
good,
it's awesome.
but not just cider. They have, and Carlos is going to get upset with me, some pretty good buffalo chicken
Oh,
dip
yeah.
here as well.
I will be trying it before I leave.
Well, my wife and my in-laws are from Western New York, and
I'm cooked.
Yeah,
so-
they got me. They got me.
He can't touch that.
it
They
is
got me.
It
I'm
is my
cooked.
wife's signature dish, and so I wanted to do it. So we had it on the menu here, and it is incredibly good. For the word buffalo, which I don't like to say too easily because I'm a Miami Dolphins fan,
There you go.
and
I'm a Chiefs fan. We hate each other.
I'm sure I will get. Yeah. I'm sure I will get into the 40 years of hurt about being a Dolphins fan
Mm-hmm.
and why I support them. And God, it's tough. The last team to have a playoff victory. I'm fully aware.
That's right. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. It came to the.
It'll happen.
a
It'll
loss
happen.
Came
I
to
hope.
the hand of the Chiefs. He's a big
Yeah.
Chiefs guy. So
Yeah, we lost.
Thank you.
Yeah, we lost
Thank you
last
for having
year.
a quarterback who can't play well in cold weather.
That's true.
It was like the third coldest game. in
It was
NFL
it was
history,
bad. A lot of people
It was brutal.
a
Yeah.
lot of people were not okay after the game.
But that's the Dolphins' fault because we played the Bills in the last game of the season, and we'd have had home field advantage. We'd have been the second seed.
Yep.
But we lost to that human haystack, Josh Allen, and we
It's
only
okay. We got him for you. We got him for you in the next
Thanks.
round. You're welcome. You're
Thanks.
welcome.
Thanks. My wife's going to kill me for saying that. So that was our own fault. We went from second down to seventh seed, and
It's a much tougher road coming into the playoffs as a
without a
seventh
doubt,
seed.
yeah, because we.
Well, then, having to go through the Arrowhead Invitational,
Yeah.
it's not a good
Every
time.
year. Every year.
Every year, we took it on the road this year, and then we beat his sorry team after.
Yeah, there we
Your
go.
team's not sorry. Your
Yeah.
team's not sorry. I take that back.
You Ravens?
Ravens fan.
Ravens
Yeah.
fan, yeah.
Dan's dad in attendance. He was at that game too.
He was
Yeah,
at that
there.
game.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to talk about it still, and I don't blame him.
It's okay.
It's tough.
It's okay.
It's tough.
It's okay. It was a great night for me. It was a great night for me. Hey, that Lombardi Trophy cares.
Oh, Corliss is going at it. But
Oh,
well,
boy.
listen. Let's get back on track here for a second. Tell us about the Cider House and what I know. Winchester Cider Works has been around for quite some time, but the Cider House, new location. It's a great atmosphere. It's currently packed right now. So tell us a little bit about that vision and what you were going for when you decided to go with the Cider House.
Yeah, well, basically we had to move from our last location. So I wanted to have a place which was totally and utterly different to anything in Winchester. So on the wall behind us, we've got like a nod to some steampunk, and which was painted by a local artist named Sarah Gallahan. And our bar is modeled after the bar in the Continental movies with John Wick, which I happen to love. Never shoot a man's dog. And on the other wall, we've got the Frontier Days Virginia with some aspects of my life, which I love. Obviously, cider making's one. Cricket, my favorite sport in the world, is on the others. And then my second favorite sport. My love always used to be football or soccer, but in the last several years it has degenerated from being the game which I played when I was younger and I was growing up. I was quite good at it. Now to people who just dive or flop, and VAR.
It's so unwatchable now.
It's just ridiculous. So I've got horse racing is my other passion. I love horses. I used to ride horses.
So we're talking Kentucky Derby, all that stuff?
I just got back from the Breeders' Cup. Hence this hat, which I'm wearing. I was out I've been to the last 3 Breeders' Cups. This one was out in Del Mar in California. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, man. All the best horses from all over the world come to compete against the American horses. And I was just absolutely fantastic weekend of just great weather. Southern California, a great racetrack. And the best horses in the world. The only thing I didn't like about $16 for a pint of beer.
Yeah, that sounds.
It's always overpriced, man. That's how we do it over here. It's always overpriced. That's rough.
So yeah, and I basically wanted people to come in here and relax, have cider wine. We sell a lot of the other stuff apart from my ciders. Some great food, and watching sport on the TVs on here, which you'd never necessarily see anywhere else. Like cricket, rugby, like English football. It doesn't have to be EPL. I've got another team who I like, who I used to go and watch on Friday nights, actually, a team called Southend United. And
you said Southend United?
Southend United, yeah.
Gotcha.
Watching their games is like a breath of fresh air because they haven't got what we call the tippy-tappy 1,000 passes.
They're not doing the tiki-taka. They're actually like playing hard and like going at it.
And
old school.
Old school. Yeah,
old
and
school.
There's no VAR. They don't dive. I watched a game they played 2 weeks ago, and there was no fouls for the first 20 minutes.
Wow,
that's incredible.
You have to wait 20 seconds in the Premier League in England for that. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we've got like photographs and places where I've been all over the world watching cricket and horse racing, and I obviously love American and US sports, and I can mix it with the best of them. I've been watching the NFL, college football for 40 years, and got into baseball more when I moved over here. Massive Orioles fan. Go and watch them.
Me too.
Play a lot. Yeah, Hojo's fan.
Listen, Camden is a beautiful place to go. It's my favorite ballpark in America.
I took you there your first time, right?
That was not my first time at Camden.
I'm sorry.
Beautiful,
I thought
the hell is wrong with you to ever suggest that was my first time at Camden?
Well, it was a fun game regardless. Camden's a nice stadium too.
But sadly, out of all my US sports teams, the O's are probably the one with the best record. I mean, last 2 years we had a good team, good teams, and made
tough
the playoffs. Unfortunately, went 2-0 both times.
And unfortunately, they fell to the curse of Kansas City.
Yeah, the Baltimore, Kansas City.
A tradition like any other. Kansas City eliminating Baltimore in the playoffs. You can't beat it.
And the last time we were in the playoffs was 2014. We got to the American League Championship game, and we played Kansas City and got swept.
Yeah,
hence why I'm not a great fan of the Kansas City Royals
or the Chiefs.
So you mentioned all this stuff about the different sports and stuff you like to do, horse racing, cricket. All of this is incorporated in your location here as well. So that must mean a lot to you all. The horse racing memorabilia, cricket. I see a very young Steven up
that's
there
me.
right across
that's
the
cool.
way from you as well, playing cricket. So what does that mean to have all this memorabilia and sort of make this place sort of your own for other people to come in and sort of, because I came in earlier to set up, which I guess wasn't early enough, unfortunately, and we do apologize.
Nope.
For this
It was not.
difficulties. But I was just watching cricket, enjoying some buffalo chicken dip, and it's just a very unique, calm, chill vibe out here.
Yeah, it's like people, whoever talks to me about cricket, they always come to the conclusion it lasts a long time, which it does to some extent. Okay, so there's basically now three main varieties of cricket played throughout the world. And also it's the second most watched sport in the world.
No kidding.
After
No, it is. Yeah.
English football, because India's got about 1.2 billion
That's right.
people, and
That's
it
right.
is a religion in India.
Massive.
That's
in
right.
India.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Massive.
cricket used to be the number one sport in the United States up until late 1850s.
Wow.
And because the US wanted to move away from like colonial sports,
Right.
baseball was invented, so to speak. It comes actually from an old French game called which we call as rounders in England, and that got incorporated as the US national sport at the time because like football didn't come along till later than that.
Right.
And actually, the first game between two countries in cricket was between the United States and Canada.
No kidding.
That is one hell of a trivia question.
Wow. Never would have guessed that.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
it was very big over here, and then so anyway, it evolved. The biggest countries in the world with cricket are England, Australia, which is the biggest rivalry in any sport. I
Right.
mean, it's gone back 150 years, and there's a trophy up there. It's called the Ashes. It's what we play for. It's 4 inches tall, and it's filled with the ashes of a part of the cricket equipment we use. And England and Australia play each other for every 2 years, and the countries stop. It is
Wow.
imagine. I know this is never possible, but if the Yankees and the Blue Sox did actually play in the World Series, that would be like a tenth of what it means when England play Australia. It's like it's a good-natured rivalry. So,
No kidding.
but the main cricket matches, test matches between countries, last for 5 days, 7 hours a day.
Gosh.
They stop for lunch and tea, and
You got to stop for tea too.
Oh, you got to stop for tea, and you can have a
Listen,
win.
tea in England hits different.
Yeah,
It's,
it does.
it's not. It's not the tea that you're thinking about over here.
No.
It's a different animal
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
So you can have a win, a loss, a tie, and a draw. They're all different things.
Okay. Wow.
So what then happened? One day, cricket came in like the early 1960s because people didn't want to watch a game for 5 days. They'd have a game that lasted
yeah.
That's valid.
one
Totally
day, which
understand.
lasted about
That's
7
fair.
hours.
Yeah.
Then about 15 to 20 years ago, they brought the game even shorter. It's called 2020 or T20. These games last for 3 hours.
Okay.
They're normally like day-night games, and it is hard, fast. That they're trying to score as many runs in as short a time as possible.
Right.
It's basically, which I explained earlier, it's basically like a major league game played over 3 innings
Okay.
with all designated hitters.
Oh, wow.
And you've got Tim Wakefield knuckleboards. And they're trying to score as many runs in a short space. That, I believe, is going to, that is like the Indian Premier League is the most watched sport outside the English Premier League in the
Right.
world for the 2020 cricket. And I believe within 10 to 20 years, I predict it's going to be bigger than baseball in this country.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because
I won't
like,
disagree. I mean, baseball is slowly but surely kind of dying in this
Yeah.
country.
T20 is like, I mean, I love baseball. It's the purest game. But I hardly ever watch a whole game on television. Unless it's the O's playing. Even then, I want
In person, it's a lot better.
in person.
Yeah, in person,
different
it's a
experience.
fantastic
I agree, I
experience,
agree.
but it's just not built for TV.
But
Yeah.
the 2020s in cricket, it really is. So, and I think, everybody now wants quicker, faster, more exciting games.
Well,
We'll have to keep an eye
the
on that.
attention
We'll have to cover
span,
it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
start
the
covering it.
attention span in the world has
Yeah,
just
that's
dropped
it, that's it.
significantly. So nowadays it is about just
The shorter
the shorter the game, the
and more
better.
action, the
Most
better.
people
That's
are
what
watching
care about.
are watching the highlights on social media anyways.
right.
So most people kind of aren't even watching the games anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that's why the numbers for like, I mean, also just NBA basketball has just kind of become unwatchable as well because there's a lot of flopping all the time, and it's literally just everybody shooting up threes.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing. Most people are watching highlights on social media instead of watching the actual games.
Exactly. Yeah.
Basketball kind of lends itself to that anyway. Like it's the perfect sport to have like social media presence
Yeah,
on.
I
think
the thing with basketball is, and I don't know what the facts, but when I first started living here, it wouldn't be unusual to see like an 86 to 78.
right, low
game.
scoring. Right.
You don't get those anymore.
Now
That's what I'm
it's-
saying.
now-
Yeah,
now
because
it's
now
double that.
everybody's just
Yeah.
chucking up threes.
Yeah.
There's no.
Especially because I'm a Wizards fan.
Wizards,
So most of them scoring in the 90s.
Someone has to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
giving up like 140 points. Like, how do we get
Yeah,
up
last year
129
Last year was tough.
It's
Last
just-
year they gave up a lot of
They
points.
just can't defend anymore.
No,
you know, and
no.
No, there's no defense. There's no. I mean, it's literally every team has just copied the Warriors, and everybody just tries to shoot
Yeah.
up threes
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
That's
true.
all it is now.
which they can't do. They can't replicate it.
You can't.
No.
replicate what they do.
That's plain and simple.
I think actually I should have supported the Washington Generals.
Yeah.
Used to play the Harlem Globetrotters all
Globetrotters.
the time. Well, when I first moved there, I used to go to watch, and I had one Dixon playing who I loved, and then Gilbert Arenas came along.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
absolutely loved it. I was
Agent Zero,
I was
the
actually
original
at the
Agent Zero.
game that was against Milwaukee, where he shot from midfield and turned around while the ball was in the air and it went in, and he just had his, and that's when he
And he knew. He knew it was
called
going in.
himself Hibachi
Yeah.
because he was too hot to touch, and he was just crazy and funny, and I loved him. And he was like the first player to have a blog
Yeah.
that told the
right.
truth.
Right.
And I used to read his blogs and think, wow, this. And he used to get fined, and he didn't care.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was wild, but
Yeah.
he's a great player.
So tell us. I know you're drinking some of your cider, I believe.
It is.
Tell anybody, because this is a relatively new establishment.
Mhm.
These mugs, a really cool story about these mugs, and you can purchase a year membership and
Yep.
get some pretty good perks with it.
Yeah, so my mother and father-in-law are over there. They are joint number one in the Cider Club because they were our number one customers last year, our last place.
So cool.
So what we decided to do was decided to have a mug club
Mhm.
where, because we're trying to build a like community thing where people can come in, put your phones away, leave your politics, your religion, all that other stuff, bad stuff at the door, just come in and chat to people who you've
Fantastic.
never
Love that.
Sounds
you've
like a
never
great time.
really
Yeah, love
like
that.
talk to, and just have conversations, because in England and Ireland, in Great Britain, the pub culture used to be, when I was growing up, it was like a social environment where you
Right.
go out.
It was a place of community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, that sums it up perfectly. And we'd go to the pub, and there was friendly banter. There was no arguing. But this was before Twitter or X, where
This is before social media kind of ruined everything.
Yeah.
where the world
Yeah.
just hates itself. So we did this mug club here, where over the years, $150, you get your own mug, 10% every time you come in, free meals on your birthday. When I bring out new ciders, you are our tasting panel.
Oh, cool.
So we recently had one where we brought out 5 different ciders, which I was going to try. Everybody voted for them, and I have to go away and then make one to
Mhm.
replicate that. So,
Wow.
and that was a peach cinnamon, which really surprised me, but it does taste pretty good. So I'm going to bring that out. Yeah, and we have cider club dinners twice a year, and we'll do cider pairings. I'll get up and talk and try and not send everybody to sleep. And it's just basically just like recreating a bit of Britain, what I grew up with, and
I love that.
some good drink, good food, but good conversation. But community is like the key word.
Yeah, because I feel like a big issue in like today's world is like, that's a thing that people long for a lot, is a
Yeah.
sense of community, a place where they can come and just, like you said,
Exactly,
leave all that other stuff out
Yeah,
at
just
the
leave
door
it,
and just
yeah,
come in
yeah.
and just unwind, relax, and not have to worry about that
Just
stuff.
Yeah.
enjoy. Yeah.
And my wife did
Escape.
a really good thing on Andrew behind the bar mentioned the other day about we did a post on social media. Stop scrolling through social media and actually go out and talk to some people.
Right.
Especially the country's in a bit of a fractured way at the moment.
A little bit.
Just just leave it all at home and just leave it outside and just come up, like, forget where you are, forget all your troubles and everything, and just have a couple of good drinks, good conversation.
Love that.
And
Love
meet
that.
new friends.
Absolutely.
What goes into making cider? Can you sort of walk us through what
question.
that process is?
That was actually going to be my
that's
next
a good-
question.
That's
No, I'm
a good
sorry.
question.
20 years of learning, at least. I was self-taught. I made wine and cider back in England. It's a similar process, obviously using grapes and then apples. I'm the only cider maker in the country who makes cider the way that I currently make it. Now, I'm the only English cider maker in the country as well now. Britain drinks 70% of the world's cider.
No kidding.
Really?
It's on national drink. And
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's another great trivia question.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would not have guessed
I love
that.
Yeah, so if you go in any like regular pub in the high street in Great Britain and Ireland, you'd get 3 to 4 ciders on draft,
Oh wow.
all places.
Wow.
Love
Dang.
that.
And
'Cause I love
so when we were in high school and you're like getting used to drink for the first time, you don't really. Most people don't really have an appetite for beer at such a young age,
Right.
And
No,
so
not
we
really,
had
no.
this appetite for fermented apple juice.
Okay.
And we used to get them in these big 2-liter bottles of plastic bottles, 2 liters. I don't know, so about just over a gallon, I suppose.
Right.
And we'd get drunk on that. We'd sit in fields, we'd listen to punk music and drink
love it.
cider, and it just became such a national pastime for people of a certain age. Strongbow was the drink that we drank in England at the
Oh,
time.
I've had that. It's good.
And so I had a bit of a love affair with cider, and so when I moved over here 20 years ago, I couldn't get any good ciders all sweet,
Mm-hmm.
and so I decided to do it myself, and that was in 2012, and then I quit my full-time job while I moved over here in the first place, and did this full-time. That was a bit of a ballsy move, to be quite honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
And
It's a good gamble.
I mean, I'll say it paid off for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
and then I bought the company outright 2.5 years ago, and we sell in 8 states currently, and what a displace, and hopefully build another one or another 2 or 3 in Virginia
Very
as
cool.
well.
Nice.
So, and all my ciders are like totally different. They're all English style, very low in sugar.
Mhm.
And I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. In what I'm drinking as a pint, it's around about 0.8 grams of sugar in there.
That's not bad.
If you were to drink one of the main cider companies in this country,
Mhm.
I shan't name any names.
The big ones. We get you.
Yeah, you're talking about 36 grams of
Yeah,
sugar.
It's wild.
It's
That's
alcoholic
wild.
Mountain
Gotta be
Dew.
easy because I
And,
kind of sell the stuff.
So I make all my ciders differently. They're all blended differently, and then I add some adjuncts to them, like giving them the mag and twist. And it's been going quite well.
So
Love
are
that.
you in turn like yourself making these ciders, or I assume you might
Are you
have
the cider master per se?
So I'm not a cider master.
Okay.
I don't like that term because I'm not really up. You have brew masters and beer masters
Right,
and all that sort of
right.
thing. Yeah. These brewers, they like to think themselves a little bit special.
Sure.
I'm a cider maker,
There you go.
and I couldn't do any of this without my assistant Bill Lees. He's not my assistant anymore. He makes it.
Okay.
I just taste it,
Uh-huh.
and he comes up to me and asks me whether this is right, what I need to do. But without Bill, we wouldn't be here. Him and JT, who run our production facility, while I just sit in front of my computer, paying bills and reading emails, answering questions from Andrea. Yes, you. That's basically what I
She's doing a great job, by the way.
Oh yeah, she is. She's fantastic. I love my
We
staff.
pan the camera
absolutely
over, but-
fantastic. So so what I built, but I come up with ideas, and we are actually making. I've just finished fermenting around about 5,000 gallons. In 2026, there's the 250th anniversary of some war that was over here in
Yeah.
1776. I don't know what that was.
Oh, you
about.
mean the one that you guys
Something like
lost,
that.
though, even though you had a 13 colony lead?
Oh, brutal.
Do you realise?
No. don't have to do this.
Do you realize?
You
Oh,
don't have to do
no.
this. Listen.
That was
Listen. The underdogs won. All right.
and I'll tell you why. There was more British fighting for the US than there was the British forces.
That is true.
No, you're not
They were all
wrong.
their
That is true.
Hessians from Germany, you see.
Yeah.
Because King George III was German, didn't speak English.
We
at
had
the
we
time.
had a little bit of help. I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not
you
gonna
had a
lie.
little bit.
Yeah, we had
German,
the French
the
eventually
French,
chipped
the
in.
Dutch, and the Spanish.
In Spanish as well.
And
Yep.
you were playing our second team because we were fighting the French in Europe.
He's actually not wrong
He's
though.
not
Like
wrong.
when you really do look into the history of it,
If any historians,
yeah, when you really look
watching
into the
this.
history of what happened in that
checking it,
war,
it checks
like it's
out.
not like we were actually
The
facing the full might
historical-
of England.
The
Yeah.
historical fact of the day right here on the Kirby on Sports podcast.
so, look at that. So I'm actually making a cider for the VA 250
Wow.
celebrations, which is going to be
Awesome.
absolutely massive.
Awesome.
So it's we reached out to them, and we went through all these like phases of committees with government,
Right.
and then they said yes, and then we waited 9 months, and then they came back. They gave me a contract, so I'm making it at the moment. It's going to be called Stand Beside Her, which I think is a great name. We put up
Yeah,
to
that
vote.
sounds like a good name.
Yeah. It's
Oh yeah.
So I'm now about to get the label done, and it will not be like the Virginia flag standing on me, basically. So it's going to be, if anybody knows the Virginia flag, they're
Yes.
standing on the oppressor. And so yeah, we're going to get that done, and that's going to be out probably May next year, and that's going to be 6.9%. It's going to be an imperial cider.
nice.
And that's going to be made more in the style what they drink back then. So
That's so cool.
and
Nice.
we're gonna yeah, hopefully we're gonna get that in Virginia ABC stores, which there are 390 in the state, and currently there's no cider in those stores.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
Yeah.
there is any. That's
Nope. There's none, but yeah, hopefully we can do that. So and we've been working with the committee, and they're actually going to send some over to Paris, the one in
No
France,
kidding.
not Texas. Yeah,
yeah.
so we can show the Frenchies
Wow.
How it's done.
How we
that
do it.
Americans can make cider better than they can.
Yeah. Love
I'm
that.
a US citizen, by the way. So. I play both sides. So when I'm over, when I'm here, I always like say, "Oh, why the hell do Americans do this? Why do you do that? British way is so much better." And
Right.
then when I go back to England, I'm like, "Why do you do it like this? Why do you do it like that? The American way is so much better." So
Why don't you guys
get-
get
I
free
keep
water
people off
in
both
restaurants?
sides.
You get both sides of that coin.
Yeah, I'm the
which is
devil.
nice.
I'm the devil's advocate in that respect.
Yeah.
But,
I love it.
no,
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is
Mm.
really a lot of fun. And again, I was out here earlier. The buffalo chicken was good. I forget the name. The Cider, that's the cider I
yes, that's what I'm
tasted.
drinking.
Yeah, very good cider. First time I was here and met you, I had the 522. So you make a lot of unique ciders too, and I think that's pretty great as well.
Yeah. The 522 is in Britain and Ireland. It's a drink called cider and black. And what we used to do, so there's two drinks after we'd play sport, whether it's like football, rugby, or cricket. You'd always go and we'd never have a water afterwards because English people don't drink much water, and
I think
only if necessary.
yeah,
So after the game, we'd either have two drinks. One would be a shandy,
Mhm.
so it'd be like half a beer
Right.
and half a lemon. So you don't really have like the lemonade they have over there. It's a bit like Sprite without the lime.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the other drink that we would drink would be a drink called cider and black, where you'd have a pint of cider, which is an acidic drink. So you don't really want that after running around for 90 minutes. So they'd put this juice in there called Ribena, which is a black currant cordial concentrate.
Mhm.
Oh, it's delicious. And it's one of the greatest drinks on the planet. And I wanted to make one which replicated that. And it was like the toughest cider I've ever made
Uh-huh.
because black currant juice is really difficult to work with. It took me about 4 months to do it.
Wow.
And I didn't think anybody would enjoy black currant juice over here. That was one of me. Because black currants were known as the forbidden fruit over here because
Oh, really?
they were banned from being grown for like 200 years.
No kidding.
Because when the settlers brought them in, they thought they were killing a large proportion of the tree population.
Oh,
So
okay.
and I think that was only like in the late 1980s that you could grow them again in Virginia.
No kidding. So it hasn't been
And
long.
it had nothing to do with black currants.
Right.
So they found out there was something else. So in some states are still banned as well. But the two together, when you get it right, it's heaven.
Wow.
And I drank a lot of those when I was in high school. Disclaimer,
Love that.
allegedly.
So with that, obviously, we'll get more into this, but we have a football game coming up here shortly. So if for all of you tuning in on YouTube and Facebook, if you're not here, why aren't you here? 30 East Piccadilly Street, Winchester, Virginia.
Sorry, that was funny to
the
me.
Cider House. Come out and see us. Dan might be signing autographs. Who knows?
My hand is a little tired today, so
Are we going to have
Pause.
are we going to have predictions for the game?
Pause.
Are we gonna have? Oh, Carlos broke it.
Oh no, I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We are going to predict the games with a little bit of
Predict.
time left here.
We're gonna make our picks.
yeah, you
we
mean
are
you mean
going
our
to
pick
make
'em.
our picks. If you listen to the episode, the Kirby on Sports podcast, which has been released on all streaming platforms, all social media platforms, and yes, Carlos did get a say in towards the end too.
I did.
Yes, he did. But
He did cut a really good promo at the end of the episode. It was
I
great.
did. It was
really-
legendary.
It was really good.
It was
So,
legendary.
hope they-
It's really good.
I hope they can see that. But
Hold on. I will pull it up. Give me a second.
yes, so
Can I do my picks as well? To go?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me pull
you
it
are
up
more
here.
than welcome. You just give us some time.
42 and 18. That's impressive.
Yeah, we run
Yeah.
the totals
39
through.
and 21. That's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I mean we run
We've done
the totals.
we've done well this year. We've done better than we have in the past few years. I think we're 3 or 4 games better, Carlos. You said it this week on the podcast.
Yeah, we're
And
definitely
you-
up. But you're looking at the 3-time loser right there.
I do have a question
Yeah.
though.
He was dead last 3 years in a row. Just
So
just
Dan,
you know.
why have you got your high school prom picture up?
You know
there?
what? Can I say this? He took this without my permission. He went on my social media. He scrolled back to this is like 2017.
Well, I need an updated headshot.
Yeah, and
that's all.
he grabbed.
And Carlos,
I asked him. I said,
Carlos
"What are you doing?"
is the only person who I know who wears glasses outside but sunglasses inside. Is that true as well?
the
Hey,
coolest guy
listen.
for it, too. Coolest guy
When you're
for
the
it.
double champ like I am, when you
Okay.
win the pick'ems 2 years in a row,
Okay.
you get to do whatever you
He can
want.
do what he wants.
Okay, I understand.
within legal limits, yes.
Not
See,
within.
I'm not picking
But
on
yeah,
you.
you know,
You see that?
you're. I mean, you're totally right.
Yeah. I'm
He
not-
I
loves
gave
me
him.
here.
I gave him crap for that a long time ago.
That's
I'm like,
funny.
why
All right,
did
so
you grab
there it
that
is.
picture?
There's the
All right.
pick'ems.
Yeah, we got double screens.
Sweet.
Our pick'ems are up for everybody in attendance. That's our pick'ems. We waited to do the live reveal with you here at the Cider House.
I forgot who I picked, so I'm glad to see it now. That's good.
Yeah. He,
That belt doesn't say so, baby. I'm trying to win this, all right? You be careful with what you say. The Eagles about to beat these Commanders. These Commanders ain't beat nobody. Their 3 losses have come to the actual good teams that they played. I don't care about the sunglasses. I wear them inside because the lights are too bright for me.
So I do agree with you because the Commanders' record against the teams who they won. No,
Yeah.
sorry, the Eagles is 13 and 35.
Mm.
So I did a little bit of research tonight.
goodness.
The pass defense and the run defense of the Commanders
Oh.
has not got a hope in hell
It's brutal.
No.
Yeah.
tonight. I really am. And yes, the quarterback for Commanders is a very, very good young player.
Yes.
But he has not played in any environment what he's going to get tonight.
Yeah,
No,
that's a good point.
I will give him props.
Those
there.
rabid
He hasn't
Eagles
seen
fans.
Philly yet.
They are. They are.
I mean,
one
he
of a
did
kind.
play in
They're one of
Baltimore,
a-
but yeah, Philly's a different
But
animal.
Philly,
Yeah.
Philly's a different animal.
Yeah. So my pick tonight is definitely, I think the Eagles by 10.
By 10. Okay.
David Smith, he's commenting in the live stream. He's not out here, though. David, thank you so much. I'm sorry you weren't able to come out here. And Brandon Graham, the flags are up. You know what happened before.
Brandon Graham. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a
man.
long-running tradition here, David Smith. Landon Moore, thank you for hopping in. Not sure why you aren't out here, but thank you for hopping in virtually.
Are you just going
Why
to
you
ask
gotta-
everybody
why you
who's
gotta call
commenting? You're
people
just
out,
going to
dude?
call them
That's-
all out?
You have fans in the comments
So-
here, and you're just roasting them.
So,
Come on.
regardless, I do like your point there.
Yeah, that's a good
This
pick.
environment. This
Good
is
pick.
an environment that threw snowballs on Santa Claus.
They did.
They
Yeah.
pelted Santa Claus. That is
Yeah,
they
they
did.
threw snowballs on Santa
So
Claus. This is a vastly different environment.
So I got a quick little Eagles story. A friend of mine, Paul Vernessy, who I used to work with, massive
going
Eagles
already.
fan,
Uh-huh.
and he also was an MMA fighter, and
boy.
he was pretty good.
Uh-huh.
And big Eagles fan. And the Dolphins don't normally play the Eagles too often. And this was about 10 years ago, we used to work with each other, and the Dolphins were playing the Eagles when the schedule come out. And I said to him, "Let's go," and he was like, "Okay, yeah, we'll go." We'll get. His son had just passed his, able to drive, so he could drive us up there where we got drunk. And he said, "Just make sure you don't wear any of the Dolphin stuff." I said, "No, I'm gonna wear it." No,
No, you can't in Philly. Don't wear it in Philly, man.
look, I was, yeah. I grew up and I attended games in England during the most horrendous violence you'd ever see. Being a Chelsea fan, I got to see that firsthand, and it was glorious. And so we ended up not going because he was too scared that I was going to wear Dolphins. How the hell can you hate the world's most lovable mammal?
That is true.
And we're always terrible. But he wouldn't go. I just think that he was scared that we were going to win, and we did actually win.
There you go.
Yeah, so
There
I
you
had bragging rights. But yeah, Philadelphia is
Those fans. They're the most passionate fans, the most diehard fans.
Yeah.
They will love you or hate you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I mean, if there's one city I'll never go to, is Philadelphia. That's
I
just
love Philly.
that's just the one city I'll never go to.
Oh, South Philly's
it's good.
really good.
It's a good city.
That is
It's a good
good
city.
city.
So,
Yeah.
so Dan
Terrible
and
fan
myself-
culture.
Dan and myself have picked the Commanders.
I'm not confident in my pick, but I will say I think this is a game for Jaden Daniels to come out and prove it against a pretty good defense, a team in the Eagles that has won big games, that has been to the Super Bowl in recent years. So it's a chance for Jaden Daniels to come out and have a great game.
well,
Could be a
I think he will.
statement.
Well,
isn't it?
let's
Tonight's gonna
hope
be a statement.
you don't get
Yeah.
another loss because somebody.
If
jumped
I-
off sides.
Yeah.
Let's just hope.
Because what? Because
He's-
what?
He's referring to the jumping off sides.
Yeah, the
Oh.
jumping off side.
Yeah.
Take the Commanders.
Sorry ass team.
No, come on.
Sorry ass team.
Yeah, we've.
It honestly makes sense. I already went on my rant on the podcast.
We've
but-
heard your rant. I know. But
Yeah. That being said, I'm not confident picking the Commanders, but
what?
I
mean, the
I flip-flop
defense.
in this
The
game. Their
defense
defense is terrible.
Your
So
secondary is awful.
Jaden
As
Daniels-
the
Jaden Daniels
Commanders
is gonna
take the
have to have a
field,
great game. He's
Listen,
gonna have
this
probably to a loud
Commanders
course of
team-
boos right now.
this Commanders team.
Boo.
some boo birds raining down for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of boo birds raining down on them right now.
You've also got to remember that their run defense is pretty poor,
Yeah, that too.
and who's going to get the ball a lot tonight?
Saquon Barkley.
Take one.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
But it's not even that. It's also, again, the Commanders' secondary is just god awful.
They can
There you
cover.
go.
And you're
AJ
going up
Brown.
against A.J. Brown and
I
Devontae
know.
Smith.
Yes.
Devontae Smith.
Listen, but this Commanders
Can I
team
change my pick?
is.
I don't know why you picked them.
7-3.
Okay.
This is
Beat a bunch of
great-
tomato cans.
You're not letting me finish.
Continue.
So this 7-3 team, this is good that they're getting this winning stretch. If by chance the season collapses and they don't make the playoffs, still.
Well, historically
this-
speaking, it's been that way. But
Yes,
yeah, go ahead.
But I'm just saying this is good experience to build off of
I agree.
for the future.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying here.
yeah.
So-
Okay.
This kind of game in that kind of environment in prime time, perfect for a rookie quarterback.
Every
On a short
single
week, this is even
scenario-
going to be even more
Yes,
interesting.
that is true.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
honestly think tonight's game could make or break Washington's season. In the fact is, if they win tonight, it is the biggest statement that they can make. A young
this point.
quarterback
I agree.
can go into Philadelphia of all places.
Yep.
I mean, forget about going into Dallas. This is going to upset a lot of
Sorry,
people.
Carlos.
It is not.
I
It,
think-
absolute trash franchise.
I think if the Dolphins went into Dallas, we'd
You probably
beat them by like
You mean if they went in there
2
with
touchdowns?
Probably.
your backup QB instead of Tua? Yeah, you guys would you beat the brakes off of them.
so. But
He doesn't know
But
what
I
he
think
is, to be fair.
if the Commanders win tonight, this is going to be such a statement win for them. It
I agree.
really is.
But I think I would disagree with that it's going to make or break their season because I think that they can lose. I mean, the thing is, the Commanders have lost to the 3 good teams,
It's
but
still-
they
it's still a
did
long
play
season.
very
It's
well
still-
against them. I mean, they only lost to the Steelers
Yeah.
by 1 point. They lost by one score to the Ravens.
Yes, they did.
Tampa Bay was just at the beginning of the season, so
Mhm.
I don't think you can really
Yeah.
count that as much. I think that even if it just depends on how they lose. If they get blown out here, then it's going to be like, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
But
you
if
got
they
the
if they
point.
play admirably like they have before and still lose, I mean, it's still
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good
you're
sign
right.
that they're going the right direction.
I think if they lose tonight, they're still going in the right direction. But I think if they win tonight, everybody's going to look at them and think, oh, wow,
Yeah.
he is
They are
proved, he has
legitimate.
proved proved the
Yep.
hype.
Yep.
But
Oh, yeah.
I just don't like seeing a team whose quarterbacks are leading Russia as well because
They don't run the ball well at all. That is very true. Austin Eckler is. I mean, is Brian Robinson going to play? He's
Yeah,
not.
he's playing.
He is going to play.
He's
Okay.
in.
Because I feel like he's been hurt the last like 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's really struggled to stay healthy. But you see when he is healthy and he is playing, he does make an impact.
A difference in that offense, when he plays. So
how do you think Dan Quinn's done since it's been the short amount of time that he's been in Washington?
I'll take that answer first.
Yeah,
Dan Quinn, 10 times better than Ron Rivera.
Rivera
brought nothing.
He's more than 10 times better. Ron Rivera was
okay. Hey, calm it down though, because Ron Rivera actually got you guys a division title.
That is true.
So if Dan Quinn doesn't get a division title, then
with a losing record though. Right?
Okay, but a division title is a division title,
But
that was that division.
Dan Quinn is bringing something to this team that I don't think the Commanders have had in quite some time.
Hope? No, they have not.
I don't know. Jason Campbell and Santana Moss were still on this team.
No, God.
Jason Campbell. That's
what a throwback.
Yeah, that was Jason Campbell, Santana Moss. Wow.
Throwback.
Who's coaching? Jim
One of the
Zorn?
100 quarterbacks they had the last 15 years.
Yes. So
that's annoying.
that's our pick. Carlos is picking the
Auto
Eagles.
power off his own.
Myself and Dan are picking the Commanders in your pick.
You picked the Eagles.
Eagles by 10.
Eagles by 10.
And
he goes to spread as well. I like that.
Yeah, and I'm looking down that list. I'm going to go. May I have some of my suggestions on your
Go
list?
ahead, knock yourself out. All right, we got Ravens, Steelers. Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to win in Baltimore.
Damn,
I'm very sorry.
It's not a bad pick. It's not. I can't complain.
It's in Baltimore now. I just like.
No, this one's in Pittsburgh.
This is Pittsburgh. Yep.
Yeah.
This in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this game's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, definitely.
Pittsburgh.
The Steelers to win. I'm going with Steelers. Kansas City and Buffalo.
Be careful. Remember, your wife is a Buffalo fan.
I know. I talk about this all the time, and I don't know if my wife is listening. Probably. I'm looking at the Bills thing as well. I would like to see Josh Allen play behind the offensive line that the Miami Dolphins have, and when he bounces up and down in the air, and he's got 50,000 receivers to pass to, like Tom Brady did.
Yeah.
Is he good? Yes, he's very good. Do I like him? No, I do not.
Really?
Because I'm a
He's a
Dolphins
Dolphins
fan.
fan. He's a Dolphins fan. He has to hate Josh Allen.
And
it took me a
if
minute.
anybody, you just need to go on Twitter or X, whatever they call it now, and hashtag Allen Flop. Every guy.
He does do that a lot.
Every guy.
Yes.
But
every game.
The Miami Dolphins, we're on our 5th quarterback of the year.
Yeah.
And this fella hasn't been injured. I think he's missed like 2 plays in like 6 years.
Yeah. He's
very even when he's like seriously hurt, he's still powers through it.
Who's going to win? In my, I really want Kansas City to win, but I really, really do. But I think Buffalo will
Got
win.
a Bills jacket staring at you. Buffalo, okay.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's a solid pick. I think
you and I are rolling with Buffalo.
But then again, the Dolphins should have beaten them, and Tyler Bass, who can barely kick a tennis ball, kicking a 61-yard field goal into the wind. It
was wild.
And did I take it well? Yes.
Really well, actually.
So,
I love that.
Okay, going to go with
Green Bay, Chicago.
Green Bay, Chicago. Yep.
Where's that being played?
That one,
in Lambeau?
I think that's being played in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think it's at Lambeau.
Oh, Green Bay then.
Yep.
Chicago, 4 weeks ago, I'd have picked Chicago.
Right.
The next game, good God, the Bengals and the Chargers. What a tough one.
Yeah, that one was one I kept going back and forth.
I also flipped.
You look at the Bengals on paper; they should be
undefeated.
They should be so much better.
The problem is that they lost a lot.
The craziest player in the NFL.
Yeah,
they lost a lot on their defense, though.
Yeah,
their defense
this past offseason.
It's really bad.
It's not great.
Yeah. So I mean, the Bengals should have beaten the Ravens.
Yep, I agree.
Should really. That was. I'm going to go with Bengals because I think Joe Burrow is the craziest player in the NFL.
Throws for 400 yards and they still lose.
I know, and he just sits there, just shaking his head quietly on the sideline.
I mean,
I love him.
He's grown used to it, sadly. But,
Atlanta, Denver. Oh, Denver are like. I mean, they should have beaten Kansas City last week.
They should have, but Leo Chanel said, "No, sir,
no, sir."
Went on a block field goal. It's crazy, man.
Is this in Denver or Atlanta?
I believe this is in Atlanta.
I think it's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, Atlanta then. Yep. if this was in Denver, I would have definitely went for Denver.
Felice needs to talk to me. I will call you back as soon as this is over, Felice.
Yeah.
He's probably going to yell at us because he thinks we're betraying him.
Oh, my. Felice, we love you.
Who's the Atlanta head coach?
Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris, yeah.
He's done
He's
fairly good.
he's
job
done a
there.
great
Yeah,
job
yeah.
taking
I'm
over
trying
that
to think of
team.
his name. Yeah.
They've shown some they've improved a good bit, and Denver too. Denver's a young team,
Yeah,
kind of
I know,
scrappy.
yeah.
Bo
and
Nix was slinging that ball.
He's been pretty solid, and he's gotten beaten around.
And they got a
too.
great front seven on that
Unfortunately.
defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Their defense is pretty solid.
Patrick Surtain is a lockdown corner. I mean,
They got
Denver's got some
there
pieces,
for
and
the
Sean
future.
Payton's leading them in the right direction.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How come the Miami Dolphins do not score many points when we've got the two fastest wide receivers, or two of the three fastest wide receivers?
No
We've got-
question.
Well, in fairness, you guys
Devon-
banked you banked your season on Tua staying healthy.
Yeah.
That's
We've
true.
got Devon Chain, who's lightning. Raheem Mostert, who's one of the quickest running backs.
Mhm.
And
You got
oh, good
Tyreek
God.
and Jalen
Yeah.
Waddle.
And we've got a
Waddle
rookie.
as well.
Good God, forgot his name. Our other running back. Our running game is fantastic.
Yep.
We got so many injuries.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous.
It's been crazy.
So, but why can't we score many points? Because
I-
you don't think Tua's got a deep threat passing, which he hasn't.
I think it's kind of just goes back to what Carlos says. Like, he can't stay healthy enough to where he
Yeah.
can find his rhythm. I think the biggest thing is he can't find his rhythm with this offense because he just can't stay on the field, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And who's the backup quarterback? His name escapes me now.
We've got Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson.
Who got injured?
Yeah, he's no good. He's no
Skylar
good.
Thompson, and then you guys brought in
Who got
Huntley.
injured?
Yeah, Huntley.
And
yeah,
then-
you guys can take Huntley. You can
It
take,
was
take
so
off our
bad
hands.
we had to get the yellow pages out because Google couldn't find another quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So we got
Who's the
fellow
other-
named
Yeah, that's right,
George.
Felice. I do got your back. I do got your back, Felice.
Anyway, our season
Well-
is on life support.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
the game's about to kick off. We're about to wrap this up here at the Cider House. But if you're not out here, come on out
Come
to
on
the
out.
Cider House.
Dan is
But-
signing autographs.
Yes, Dan
It's
is signing
official.
autographs.
I have
Hey,
confirmed that.
Listen,
practicing.
to everybody in attendance, though, if you could just give this man a round because what a great place this is.
Woo!
Thank you. Fins up.
Commanders, baby.
Left hand up with the Commanders.
I don't know what's going on here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Woo. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so with that also, we'll be here. Come up. You're welcome to talk to us. Hats for sale, shirts for sale. Trying to get my merch sold. So if you want any, feel free. Come up and talk to me. But Cider House, Commanders, Eagles. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
This will not be the last time.
Can I ask one more question
Yes.
before you? Okay, your favourite footballers of all time.
Mm.
We'll start with the man at the end in the shades.
Who's yours?
Favourite
Like-
football of all time.
My favorite football player of all time.
Favourite footballer of all time.
Player?
Yeah.
Player.
Oh, my favorite player of all
No,
time.
footballer. Kickball.
That's a good one. My favorite,
So
player of all time.
correct?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
tough, right?
That's
Oh,
a tough
man,
question to
that's
ask. I'm gonna go with Tony Romo. Yeah. It's a long story.
Everybody
It's a long
groans at
story.
once.
It's a
That
long
came from left
story.
field.
Did that
Everybody
pick
grows.
change when he bobbled the snap in Seattle or not?
No. I'll explain it off air.
Okay.
It's a long story.
I'm sure.
What about
I'm
yours?
sure yours is
This is-
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, oh, definitely. A magical postseason run though.
It's gonna be Ray, right?
It's got to be Ray
It's
Lewis.
gotta be Ray,
It's
right?
gotta be Ray Lewis.
Baltimore.
Yeah. He's the heart and soul of that Ravens team
Yeah.
for all those years, and it's close between he and Ed Reed, but I'd have to take Ray Lewis. Who's that?
Jonathan Ogden.
Oh, he's pretty good too. He's the cornerstone of that offensive
Oh, no,
line.
yeah.
So it's hard because the Ravens have had a lot of great players, but yeah, I think Ray Lewis has to be my pick for sure.
And for me, jeez,
It's Jason Campbell.
No, it's not Jason Campbell.
It's Mark Brunell.
No, it's Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
not even close.
You have a McNabb
Trying to
jersey.
think of an obscure
Yeah,
quarterback.
but
Washington
I'll
too
give
many
you
of
a
them.
story. My brother came last place in a fantasy football league, and he just gave me the jersey
Nice.
because he had to wear it. I'm like, okay, why not?
All
It's
right.
a jersey.
Focus
I know
in.
who your favorite coach of all time is, though. It's Ron Rivera.
It's Jim Zorn.
Jim Zorn.
He's a good pick.
So you'd be
No.
surprised to know mine is a former Miami Dolphins quarterback,
Yeah,
It's got to be Dan Marino, right?
Sage Rosenfels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the only Jewish superstar footballer
Oh,
I ever known of.
okay.
And he sounds like a lawyer in like Midtown, Missouri.
He does.
You're at the office of Sage Rosenfels and Son. No,
Better-
sadly, it's Dan Marino, and I've got a jersey signed by him to Cider Man, and I blame him for 40 years of hurt.
Yeah, he kind of was
So-
the start of it there.
And my favorite, I have to say, Clinton Portis.
Clinton
Yeah,
Portis.
it's a good pick.
Clinton Portis.
Clinton
That's
Portis
fair.
is a good pick.
He was great.
That's
He's a
fair.
great player.
He was a great running back for
Scumbag.
Washington. Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Remember
Thanks,
that
Carmen.
conversation?
Yes.
Uh, But you picked a defensive player.
I did.
So my favorite defensive player of all time, Zach Thomas,
Oh,
54 from Miami
he was
Dolphins.
great. He was great.
And player who I love watching probably more than anybody was two, and they're both running backs.
Okay.
Barry Sanders
Oh,
and Walter Payton, who I think is the
oh
greatest
man,
running back of all
he's
time.
the greatest.
in
Walter
my
Payton is
humble
number one.
opinion. So,
I agree.
Yes. So
those are great picks.
with that, one more time, give it up for the lovely staff of the Cider House.
Thank you,
And
staff.
Steven. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're signing off. Hat, shirts for sale. Come see us. Carlos, thank you for making the trip. Dan, thank you. What a legend you two are.
I'm ready. I'm ready to
Almost didn't make
autograph.
it.
I'm ready to
Almost
autograph.
didn't make it.
Hey, let's do this.
How did you fly from Colombia?
No, I mean, I wish. I mean, I got some of the devil's dandruff to sell a little later, but you know.
Hey, gentlemen, let's do it again next week. The Kirby on Sports podcast signing off. Thank you very much for tuning in live from the Cider House, and we will close with this lovely advertisement.
The Cider House is now open on East Piccadilly Street in downtown Winchester. The Cider House is open starting at noon Wednesday to Sunday. Stop in for a wide variety of ciders on draft, as well as 4 Virginia beers, wine, and ready-to-drink canned cocktails. Don't miss our lunch specials featuring our house salad. We also have dinner specials too. Stop in today at the Cider House, located on Piccadilly Street in downtown Winchester.